A lot of quarterback controversy this offseason. We just talked about Justin Fields and what the Chicago Bears may potentially do with the first overall pick. But we heard a lot of drama coming out of Broncos country. Let's ride.
Wait, hold on. If you haven't heard, I don't remember what episode I had just listened to, but you had an all-time rant about Russell Wilson and Sean Payton being a
The
dickhead.
safeties position.
It was
rankings.
the safeties one?
Yeah,
dude. All-time rant. That was great.
Need to go and check that out for sure. The positional ranking series going through the top 10 of every position as the NFL offseason approaches. But Russell Wilson, I heard people talk about the Jets. I hear people mentioning the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm here to tell you why neither one of those two teams are going to be the destination and some potential best fits, I think, for Russell Wilson going forward. I do not think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a franchise that are going to turn the key on Kenny Pickett that quick. Yeah, there's been a lot of injury history. There's been a lot of controversy about how that team would perform if they had a different quarterback. But Mike Tomlin doesn't strike me as that guy that's just going to want to keep flipping the page on that. Trubisky's out. He's done.
Done. 100% done.
He might be done in the NFL. But I think that Kenny Pickett has shown flashes, and I feel like that's important enough to still get another opportunity. They might want to bring in a different type of backup. Maybe a Jacoby Brissett could be like a better fit to kind of go there. But I don't think that, like you see Russell Wilson is favorited by DraftKings with minus 220 odds to go to Pittsburgh. I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's going to go to the Jets. I heard a lot of people talking about the Jets sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, being able to get that year of experience. We've seen backup quarterbacks work wonders from that experience, but I feel like he's too big of a personality, and if he's going to be in the New York media, that's going to be horrible for both Rodgers and Russell Wilson. So I don't think that's the case. I still feel like there's chances that he's back in Denver. Denver has questions at the quarterback position. He's under contract there. He hasn't been released. I'm not sure what the trade market actually will be. So outside teams that are still looking in the quarterback market feel like these are going to be the obvious options that are going to come up with Justin Fields. They'll come up with Russell Wilson. They're going to come up around draft time. So make sure you guys stay tuned to all of our offseason draft coverage. But Atlanta, the Patriots, Commanders. I know that it would be highly unlikely for a lot of those teams to take Russell Wilson with the contract at hand. So I'm expecting him to still be paid by Denver partially next year. But if they release him and he's able to negotiate this, I think he would look for, at least a 2 or 3 year deal. I feel like Atlanta might be on the shorter stint because they might want to go a little bit younger at that position. But the Patriots and Commanders, I feel like for the Commanders, I feel like this might be one of their better potential quarterbacks that they've had, in some time.
100%.
I think he'd be able to dish it to Dotson. I think he'd be able to feed Terry. But the Patriots, as a Patriots fan, would that be something that you would be, sound with moving forward in that direction compared to where it has been in last years? I know that Russell Wilson might be just outside of that top 15 at the quarterback position, but I still feel like having his experience and being in the Hall of Fame conversation still has to provide some value in the NFL today.
I'm okay with trying it. Where I am hesitant is I don't know how the Patriots are going to do with someone like Russ, who might have a tough time acclimating to a newer culture and things like that. Just because he's been in the league for so long, he kind of has his own way of going about things. But I'm not opposed to it. I'd like to see what else we have for options out there. If there's a quarterback at 3 that we can get, I kind of would like to take it. Or if we get Marvin Harrison and we sign Russell Wilson, it's not terrible, but it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. If you're asking, I would 100% prefer a Fields. I would 100% prefer I think I'd prefer a Jaden Daniels and just start from scratch there.
Sure.
Or obviously a Drake May or a Caleb Williams.
Would you rather Drake May? I feel like people have been really iffy on Drake May, and I've seen a lot of the Trubisky comparisons, and I know as we get closer to draft time, that's something we'll elaborate on a little bit more. But I feel like he's the biggest wild card out of all these quarterbacks, and I feel like since then, that's when you've kind of heard the J.J. McCarthy type of conversations.
Right.
I don't know if you feel like he's in that same type of conversation too, but I think an interesting direction would be getting a Russell Wilson and then maybe trading back. I know that wouldn't be ideal, like for Patriots fans, but getting more picks because there's a lot more of a roster deficiency.
We can't trade back though.
But if you got like a McCarthy at like the top of 2 or like a Penix or like something like that, no.
I'm kind of out on McCarthy if I'm being honest. I just don't. I think he's going to be very middle. I think he's going to be Levis.
Okay.
Like, that's how I think he's going to be Levis, where I think he's just kind of there. And like I picture Levis as like a Tannehill.
Okay.
Where he's like, he'll have a couple good years, but like he's really not that good.
He would make it past the first contract.
He would, right? He'll make it past the first contract, but then it'll just be handcuffed because every team will have figured him out at that point. And it's just going to be a nightmare. So,
but anything that you think could be differently about Russell Wilson's destination? I think the Broncos being a disaster doesn't help.
I mean, call me crazy, dude. Like I could see him backing up Tua.
Yeah.
Like he could back up Tua in Miami.
You really think he would be a backup?
I think there's a world in which he may not have a choice. Like Washington could throw a bigger number at him and stuff like that, but now we're looking at teams and like
the Raiders.
They like if Denver's having this big of a problem with Russ, like I don't know that many teams are going to be chomping at the bit to go get him.
I feel like and like you heard in my rant, like I feel like Sean Payton kind of like hampered to that though, like a little bit. Like I feel like he just wants somebody at this point in his career that he can just push around. And not saying that Russell's not that guy, because he definitely seemed like he pushed him around a little bit. Yeah. But I just feel like you said, Russell's been in the league for some years. Like he's kind of built a certain way. He does have like a mentality, and as far as like interaction with the media, it is an interesting type of like approach on what he has. But I don't feel like he's someone that's a crazy distraction either, though.
Could he go back to Seattle, or is that bridge just gone?
I feel like I don't know. I really don't think so.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think the Giants are in the quarterback market, but I don't think it would be like a far conversation or a thought.
For the Giants, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like it's really tough this year to be able to pay Daniel Jones $40 million and be able to compensate whether that's a rookie quarterback or a veteran quarterback along with that. But I feel like that we're looking for improved play at that position, and I know he was interested in the New York market.
If the Vikings are done with Kirk, they could try a cheaper option with Russ.
Yeah.
But I don't see any other team in that division going that way, or trying to think of some of the other teams. It's like those are really
Tennessee.
The ones. Like, that's the thing, but he's backing up Levis because it looks like they're going to be all in on Levis and just let him go. And again, I think Tennessee's going to be in for some dark years coming up. But I don't know. It's really interesting.
Let us know what you guys think Russell Wilson is going to go in the destination or the approach that the Denver Broncos have with their position.